Not every MMO is born to be a legend, and today we're exploring the ones that managed to stand out. But for all the wrong reasons. These are the MMOs that promised incredible worlds, but delivered experiences that made everyone appreciate any other game a bit more. Let's dive into the 10 worst MMORPG disasters that prove not everything that shines is gold. This one started with big promises and impressive graphics, but was buggier than any MMO could handle. Bless Online had beautiful visuals and a promising world, but the bugs and terrible optimization nearly destroyed it at launch. The PvP experience, which was supposed to be intense, turned into a patience test with crashing servers and constant lag. Even after relaunch attempts, Bless Online never recovered its reputation, remaining an example that beautiful graphics can't save a broken game. The concept here was ambitious, an open-world MMO inspired by GTA Online, but in practice it was pure chaos. APB Reloaded's combat and PvP systems were so unbalanced that playing it became more stressful than fun, and the connection issues and constant hackers only made it worse. The game had interesting character customization, but that wasn't enough to make up for frustrating gameplay and technical issues. With a colourful style and promises of fun combat, WildStar arrived as a fresh option for MMO players. The problem? The difficulty curve and time commitment was so intense, it felt like a second job. And even when the developers tried to switch to a free-to-play model, it was too late. The player base had already given up, leaving behind the memory of a game with wasted potential. The idea was to relaunch Rift with a retro server, but this time with microtransactions included. Instead of delivering the nostalgia players expected, Rift Prime pushed away new players and disappointed the veterans with paywalled content. Nothing like the idea of paying for what used to be free to turn a nostalgic game into a true failure. The server didn't last long and was soon shut down. The promise of a revolutionary, non-pay-to-win MMO had players excited, but it quickly became clear that ArcheAge Unchained wasn't as free as it claimed to be. The game ran into the same monetization issues it had tried to avoid. Premium items and a messy economy turned what could have been a liberating experience into a major letdown for MMO fans. It served as a reminder that bad monetization strategies can sink even the most promising games. This is one of the most infamous launches in recent history. Fallout 76 launched with a ridiculous number of bugs, unstable servers, and the questionable decision to exclude NPCs. It felt more like an untested beta than a complete game. Even with later updates, the damage was done. Fallout 76 is still remembered as an example of what happens when you rush a game out the door before it's ready. After the success of the original, the sequel came with a new 3D look, but it quickly became clear that fans weren't happy with the changes. MapleStory 2 had a confusing progression system and repetitive missions, leaving players feeling disconnected from what they loved in the first game. Despite updates and fixes, the failure came fast, and the game shut down only 2 years after release. A mature, dark MMO seemed like a promising idea, but Age of Conan turned out to be a frustrating experience for many. With a lack of endgame content, frequent bugs, and performance issues from the start, it couldn't hold on to its player base. Even after attempts to fix it, Age of Conan never lived up to the promises made at its launch. A legendary server that aimed to revive nostalgia for the original game, but the execution failed at every level. With less content and more restrictions, the Lord of the Rings Online Legendary server became a limited experience that frustrated both new and old players. Instead of recapturing the original's charm, it felt like a shallow attempt to bring back something that had already lost its luster. To close the list, we have one of the most highly anticipated MMOs in recent times that delivered a mixed experience. New World impressed with its graphics and had a promising launch, but a series of bugs, balance issues, and economic problems caused the player base to drop rapidly. The team is still working to right the ship, but New World shows that beautiful graphics and innovative ideas aren't enough to keep an MMO on top. So, which of these MMOs did you know? Or better yet, did you actually have the courage to play any of them? Let us know in the comments which of these games was the worst for you, and if there's another MMO disaster missing from the list. And if you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share with a friend who loves a good gaming tragedy. See you in the next video.